right, folks, and good morning. Welcome to the Short Vol Show. My name is Dave, and I'm starting out kind of early this morning because I got to be somewhere, but I just wanted to come on and say hi. Probably going to do an interview later today around 1 o'clock, and that may be live, so stay tuned for that. That's exciting, with somebody who I have not interviewed before. So exciting. So we have a vol crash this morning. The anxiety of yesterday was short-lived, and we kind of thought it might be short-lived because of the whole just the nature of what the news was. You know, it was like Turkey, this and that, and wasn't a whole ton of news to justify like the market like crashing or something. And indeed we had the spike. If we pull up the VIX here, I did this video yesterday and I didn't realize that I was like right in front of it for a lot of the time. But anyways, let's get a little bit better chart of the VIX here. So 20-day VIX, so you can see see anything there? You can see the spike here yesterday up towards 17, and I'm back down. So I got short VXX when it was around 33, and now it's offered at 30.85. So that was a good winner for me yesterday. However, I did puke out of my Facebook, and now Facebook's back up. So I don't really want to get whipsawed here, but I might re-enter Facebook at some point. Overall yesterday, I basically scratched because I lost money on Facebook on the way down, puked out of it, went into the VXX position and made all the money back on that. But, a lot of work to basically break even. So, but we'll see. Today, I think I might just add a little bit of Facebook at some point. Just get back into a little bit of the spread at some point here. We'll have to see what happens going forward today, but definitely looks like the vol is getting a little crushed. If we look at the term structure here, we're going to see that it's kind of come back in line pretty much, showing contango at 4.84% here. The VIX back down to 1369 right now. And you can, if you look at the futures, front month futures down 62 cents now, and second month down 22 cents. At one point yesterday, the front month future was up $2, and the second month was up $1. So really, the curve really flattened out, and now it's sort of steepening back out and coming back to normalize. This is the normalized curve that looks very normal, and of course, I'm in the way of it again. So let me move myself over. That's a very normalized curve. That looks like it should look like. It didn't look like that for a while in February this year, and definitely yesterday it looked very flat, but looking very normal right now. Let's take a look at news stories. I'm going to go to Drudge Report. And I was talking about Jack Dorsey yesterday with the focus on him and Twitter suspending Alex Jones for 6 days, and the controversy surrounding that. Let's see what this article has to say. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey on Wednesday defended the company's decision this week to put InfoWars' Alex Jones in a 7-day timeout after Jones urged his viewers to ready their battle rifles against the media. Dorsey said he resisted banning Jones, the embattled conspiracy theorist and radio host, despite calls to do so, some of which came from inside Twitter. And you know what? These guys, as much as they say they want to be objective, they have to make decisions as to what they consider acceptable. They become, these big platforms become our moral compass, which is Kind of a strange place for them to be in. So the other big news of yesterday, amid the market sell-off, we had a huge rip up in Canopy Growth Core, and people are coming out of the woodwork, of course, on Twitter saying that, oh, I was long it and I made so much money. And congratulations to those who did. I was watching my buddy Dan from Chart Guys, Dan. He really cleaned up on this one. He was able to sell. I think he said he sold like 39 stock before the open, or 39 and change stock before the open yesterday morning. The stock gapped up to 40 before the open yesterday, and then it opened. Let's see what it shows here as opening. Opened significantly lower. It kind of faded into the open. But nevertheless, a little jump start here for the Canadian MJ stocks. That's a wild chart right there. Definitely a wild chart. From 23 to 40, fades back down. Looks like it opened around 33. And I'm sure people were fading this as well. And then it got down to, I was checking it out, it was around 30. And I'm sure people were buying puts and fading this, but then you get the pop back up again. And indicated now 32.35 at 32.50. So sort of bid out here today. So I didn't have any of this. I did have some APHQF, which was up yesterday. This definitely helped me in APHQF, so happily was long that one. But enough about me. What positions do you have on right now? Tesla off a little bit yesterday, but still hanging around the 340. For those of you who watched my video on my videos on doing Tesla calendar spreads, those positions would be working for you now. I've talked to a lot of people who've been selling, or I at least heard about a lot of people selling Tesla Premium. I know that those guys over at Tasty Trade were selling Tesla Premium. Watching a Tasty Trade video yesterday, we were talking about how the extreme, I guess they were calling it like extreme ends trade or something, when something goes to like really, really low, you just buy it for the bounce, like Turkey, for example. Turkey got down to, this is like the ETF for Turkey, got down to $18. It ripped down. Let's take a look at a year chart here. Okay, so it ripped down from like, excuse me, a year ago it was trading 46, but in this latest little move here, it ripped from 26 to 18. So people were like buying calls or selling puts, this sort of thing. And here, and also with gold and silver, gold continues to, well, let's see, it's up $1.50 today, but still way lower, 1186 for gold right now. And people looking to basically get long deltas in gold one way or the other. I know that on Tasty Trade they were saying they were already long delta, so they weren't getting long more, but people definitely looking for like a bounce, rebound type thing in gold here. If we look at the chart, that's a 180-day chart for GLD. Let's just go straight to gold futures here. And, excuse me. Well, it doesn't look as, I guess, convincing there. Okay, so it's down to 1170. Let me go to like a 3-year chart here. Okay, so here we go. So that kind of makes things come to light a little bit more. Look, we've gotten just a big rip down. Now, of course, it could go lower, but looking for a bounce here in gold at some point. So let's check out, what would you want to do if you're going to look for a bounce in gold? Let's take a look at GLD here. So GLD is a gold ETF trading 111, and here's the chart. So you could look for a pop back up towards like 120, right? So maybe by the let's see, So this is yearly. So if we go to a 180-day chart, yeah, it's really made a big move down. So, you know, they say don't try to catch a falling knife, but I know a lot of people are going to be getting in on this. A lot of people have been buying it all the way down and just don't have the bullets. But I think if you were to, you know, put a couple call spreads far out in your pocket and just forget about it, it would probably end up working out for you. So let's take a look at maybe the, I don't know, these 14. You could buy the D's 14 call and sell the D's 19 call. So that's a $5 call spread. You're paying $1.26 for. Doesn't seem like a bad trade to me. You know, just get along a little bit of gold out to D's, so that if you buy the if you buy the 14-19 call spread, so that if by D's we're back to 19, you're gonna make a good return on your money. I like that trade. What do you think? Do you think gold's a good deal? Let's see. Is anybody in on the chat today? I know I gotta check my chat room more. Let's take a look at the chat room here. But yeah, something like that, you know, it's you're jumping in on something at an extreme, and you're just looking for it to kind of revert a little bit to the mean. It doesn't sound like a bad shot to me to jump in on gold. Let's take a look at silver too here, because I know that silver has been having some issues as well. Hey, chat room, how you guys doing? Let's take a look at silver. And SLV. You know, I was one of those silver stacker guys who was stacking silver coins. I've talked about this before, but if we go back like 3 years, you know, silver made this big, well, if you go back even further, it went even higher, but silver made this big run up, and everybody was into it and bought it, and then it just kind of faded and faded and faded and faded and faded ever since then. And so a lot of people have gotten out of the silver stacking thing because it's just gone straight down. And now we've seen a precipitous move, trading 1357 now, like way down. And you know, it could stay down there for a while, or it could pop a little bit. Let's take a look at these options here. Now this might be a better idea to, let's see. Everything looks really cheap. But you could buy like the 14, excuse me, 14-16 call spread. Buy the 14s. Sell the, I don't know, 17s, 16s, 17s. So 47 cents. And you're looking for the pop. Seems like a good trade. What do you think? You know, I don't know. I mean, this is 100 days out, 14-17 spread. Can it get back to 17 this year? Well, maybe not. Maybe, I mean, look at this trend down. Like, it, you know, it hasn't seen 16 again. It hasn't seen 17 since mid-2017. Hasn't seen 17 and a half. I mean, it's just gone straight down. Could it stay right around here? It certainly could. However, I mean, what if you bought the 13 calls? Let's take a look at just buying straight out the 13 calls. $1.10 in Jan. Then you just buy them straight out and put them in your pocket. So your break even is $14.10 in Jan. I almost like that better than the spread. I mean, selling that upside to get a couple extra pennies. But yeah, I mean, got 2016 got down to 13. Back there again, but maybe just start to accumulate. Buy a couple of the 13 calls, hang out. If it gets to 12, buy a couple more, something like that. I like that better than the spread. Jan, it's 100 days away. How far out do these options go? I mean, you could go all the way out actually to like the next Jan. The next Jan 13's 160, 195. You know, that's even, I mean, heck. Let's see. Okay, so what if we do like the next Jan, like some sort of spread, like the 14, buy the 14s, and sell the 19, something like that. So $1.10. You need it over 15 in 2 years. Can it be over 15 in 2 years? Certainly can be. But I mean, these are ones definitely to put on your list to take a look, watch them a little bit, and see what's going on, because there's definitely opportunity in those ones. Okay, so Facebook, you know, I got caught in this whole Delta thing. I have no position. Do I want to jump back in? I'm not quite sure. Has seen the sell-off from that chart. You know, it looks like it's going to continue to rally. You know, can we get a rip way up? We certainly could. We're already seeing a little bit of a move today, but we'll have to see what happens. What was this? I was looking at this Market Watch on Market Watch Visualize. Is kind of interesting stuff. There's the heat map there, and then there's also Index Watch with advancers and decliners, and you can select like something like the NASDAQ 100, for example, and it tells you advancers and decliners. I mean, it's closed right now, but it tells you advancers and decliners for the day in real time, which is interesting. I saw Dan Kaufman using this. So we're in Thinkorswim Market Watch under Visualize. Kind of some interesting ways to look at advancers versus decliners. So let's see. So currently VIX down 92, trading 1372. UVXY 926 at 927. Definitely was the play yesterday to sell the spike, like it often is. Look at, here's our action yesterday. UVXY got up to 1068, and then plenty of chances to sell stuff here. Buy puts, sell call spreads, whatever, and you got it. This was just a typical pop opportunity to make money in UVXY. Yeah, if you were long, you would have benefited from the pop, but if you play it from the short side, which I generally do, you can get in up here, and it just came right back. It was a one-day event, chance to make money. I mean, it looks easy from here. We know that trading isn't easy and that it's tough, but this is a very typical one-day pop type situation. You know, you have to execute. You have to go in and say, I'm willing to take the risk up here to short this somehow, and then you have to, of course, close out your position at some point down here after the open today, and we'll see if it does open like this. But classic setup here for a shorting of the pop. Here's VXX, very similar chart. So best of luck to you today. I know if you're watching this on tape, I know I came on early today, but I wanted to get on because I have to be somewhere at 9, but I will have possibly a live interview at 1 o'clock today. If it's not live, then I'll be posting it later on tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for watching the short vol today, and have an excellent day trading yourself, and hopefully you make some money today. And I will see you soon.